The Roman Baths complex is a site of historical interest in the English city of Bath. The house is a well-preserved Roman site for public bathing.
The Roman baths themselves are below the modern street level. There are four main features: the Sacred Spring, the Roman Temple, the Roman Bathhouse and the Museum, holding finds from Roman baths.
The baths are a major tourist attraction and, together with the Grand Pump Room, receive more than 1 million visitors a year. Visitors can see the baths and museum but cannot enter the water. The water percolates down through limestone aquifers to a depth of between 2,700 and 4,300 meters, where geothermal energy raises the water temperature to between 69 and 96 degrees.
Hot water at temperature of 46 degrees rises here at a rate of 1,170,000 liters every day. The first shrine at the site of the hot spring was built by Celts and was dedicated to the goddess Sulis, whom the Romans identified with Minerva.
The name Sulis continued to be used after the Romans' invasion, leading to the town's Roman name of Aquae Sulis, the waters of Sulis. The temple was constructed in the 60-70 AD, and the bathing complex was gradually built up over the next 300 years. In the 2nd century, it included the Caldarium, a hot bath, Tepidarium, a lukewarm bath, and the Frigidarium, a cold bath. After the Roman withdrawal from Britain in the first decade of the 5th century, these fell into disrepair and were lost due to silting up and flooding. Eventually, the Roman baths were destroyed in the 6th century.
The baths have been modified on several occasions, including the 12th century and the 16th century. The spring is now housed in 18th century buildings designed by architects John Wood the Elder and John Wood the Younger, father and son.
Visitors drank the waters in the Grand Pump Room, a neoclassical salon which remains in use, both for taking the waters and for social functions. In 1810, the hot springs failed, and William Smith, the owner of Hot Bath Spring, found out that the spring had not failed, but it had just flowed into a new channel. Smith restored the water to its original course and discovered the ancient Roman baths.
The museum houses artifacts from the Roman period, including objects that were thrown into the sacred spring, presumably an offering to the goddess. These include more than 2,000 Roman currency coins, which is the largest collective votive deposit known from Britain. A gilt bronze head of goddess Sulis Minerva, which was discovered nearby in 1727, is displayed.
The Bath Roman temple stood on a podium more than 2 meters above the surrounding courtyard. The pediment, 7.9 meters wide, 2.4 meters from the apex to the bottom, featured the very powerful central image of the Gorgon's head, glowering down from a height of 15 meters on all who approached the temple. The great head itself has snakes entwined within its bed, wings above its ears, and a heavy mustache. This figure is very controversial because in the ancient times the Gorgons were usually female. An alternative interpretation sees the central head as the image of a water god, such as the image of Oceanus, and yet another as a Celtic sun god.
The late 19th century carvings of Roman emperors and governors of Roman Britain on the terrace overlooking the Great Bath are particularly susceptible to the effect of acid rain and, to protect them, they are well preserved.
To help reduce the corrosive effects of warm air on the Roman stonework, a new ventilation system was installed in 2006.
The water that flows through the Roman bath is considered unsafe for bathing. It was advertised on the basis of the radioactivity it contained.
Anyway, this site is an extraordinary proof of the presence of Romans in Britain, and its remains are still a magnificent evidence of Roman society lifestyle.